Hello, and welcome to Get In We're Going Healing, a place where we talk about mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being to help you learn to let go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Today we are going to do a tarot pick-a-card reading. And I felt called to do this particular reading. It just came to me, and that means somebody out in the collective needs this reading. So today what we're going to do is advice on how to move forward through a difficult situation. Okay. So to do that, we're going to pick 3 piles. And in order to pick our 3 piles, we're going to use the White Owl Mystic Arcana. Okay. We're going to give these a shuffle, and we're going to choose 3 cards. So as I'm shuffling, if you're new to pick-a-cards, the way this works is you can choose by crystal or charm or whatever it is that's being laid out with the cards. Today they will be candles. You can choose based on candle color. You can choose based on whatever card seems to be drawn, your eye seems to be drawn to. You can also choose based on the timestamp, which is in the description box, and you can choose based on whatever card, maybe there's a number that you resonate with, maybe there's a number that is your favorite, or based on numerology, something that clicks with you. Whatever pile that is, you can choose 1 or more piles. That's okay. There's probably a message in each pile for you if you are drawn to more than 1 pile. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You can choose 1, 2, or 3 piles, or whatever it is that calls to you. Okay? All right. One more shuffle. All right. Angels, guides, ancestors of all those who are tuning in for the collective today, help us get clear guided messages so they can hear what needs to be heard to help them move through whatever this difficult situation is that they are having. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We need 3 piles today, please. 3 cards today, please. There's all 3. All right. So we're going to place them like this. 1, 2, and 3. So for pile number 1, the first card is Cancer. For pile number 2, your card is Pluto. And for pile number 3, your card is November Moon. Okay. If you prefer to choose by candles, one moment, I'll put those on for you. All right, so for pile number 1, we have the gold candle. For pile number 2, we have the black candle. And for pile number 3, we have the silver candle. All right. So whichever pile is the right one for you, click on the timestamp in the description box, and I will see you there. All right, if you chose pile number 1 and the card of Cancer with the gold candle, this is your reading. So let's have a look at the card first. So our question today is advice to work through a difficult situation you're having right now. So I'm looking at this card now. Cancer is a water sign. It's this image of the crab. It's a water sign. Cancers are traditionally known in the astrological world to be a very emotional sign. Now, in all jest, people tend to joke about being overly emotional, but I disagree. I feel that Cancers are very, very in tune with their emotions. They're very good at knowing what their emotions are. They do tend to be a little more sensitive, but I don't see anything wrong with people who are sensitive. That doesn't bother me at all. I know some people who find others overly sensitive are often people who are not very good at tapping into their own emotions, and therefore other people who do tap into their emotions tend to be seen as weaker than or something to make fun of. I disagree. I am a highly sensitive person myself, and I do feel that tuning into your emotions is a great place to be. So it might be for you dealing with this difficult situation. It might be something that's very emotional for you. It might be something that is very highly sensitive to you. Now, I do see a pitchfork, a trident. I see somebody wearing a mask. So this might be a situation where you are not showing your true feelings. While wearing a mask, you might be not showing your true feelings, okay? We also see a clamshell here. So it might be something where you are clamming up and you are not sharing your emotions, okay? We see someone who is female here. So again, traditionally, women are seen more as the gender who is more connected to their emotions. Now, this doesn't mean that you are female. This doesn't mean anything in an archetype. This is just as a general in our society in this time, this day and age, women are often seen as the more emotional between the two genders, more emotional than the masculine emotions. Now, if we look at this from a perspective of chakras, in the chakra system, the feminine chakras tend to be the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra. And those are all connected to your emotions. Those are connected to communication. Those are connected to your heart space. Those are connected to your intuitive guidance, your inner knowing, and connected to your connection with source and divinity. So it might be for you that whatever this is that you're dealing with is going to require you to be more intuitive and more connected to your emotions. So let's pull some cards and see what's coming with that, okay? I'm going to stick that right there. All right. So guides, angels, ancestors of our beautiful pile number 1 are Cancers, those who are connected to their emotions. What do they need to hear to move through this difficult situation? And my eyes have fallen to the Osho Zen deck. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to give our deck a shuffle. I'm already seeing bouncing around in there, things about letting go of control, things about celebrating, things about connecting to your creativity. One more shuffle. All right. Let's see. So what advice do you need to hear to work through this difficult situation you're working through? All right. So already we're getting the Four of Pentacles with the Miser and the Creator in reverse, which is the King of Wands. So already the advice you're getting is that you are keeping things very close to yourself. You're not willing to share. Maybe whatever it is that you're dealing with, you're not talking about with people. Maybe this is something that you are just keeping really close to your chest and you're not talking to other people about it. And you're forgetting that you are the creator of your own life. So with the Creator in reverse, this is telling me that you are giving away your power as a creator. You are letting other people dictate what it is that things are supposed to be like for you. And you're not willing to share at this time. You're not willing to connect with others. You're keeping everything to yourself. Okay. What else does our pile number 1 need to hear? Okay. Yeah, there's that King of Swords I saw bouncing around. So we've got intensity in reverse. We've got innocence in reverse. We've got the King of Swords upright with control. We've got turning in. I saw that bouncing around in there too. Upright. We've got postponement in reverse. Okay. So I'm going to pull 3 more cards and then we're going to get into the details of what all of these mean. 3 more, please. 3 more for pile number 1, please. Okay. 8 of Pentacles with ordinariness. Queen of Cups in reverse with receptivity. 1 more. Thank you. And Ace of Pentacles with maturity, with creativity on the bottom of the deck, as I saw that one bouncing around during shuffling too. All right. So this top row says you're keeping things to yourself. You're giving away your power to other people and allowing them to create the life that you want. And it's causing a lot of things that are boring. With intensity in reverse. Intensity is the Page of Wands and it's in reverse. So this is about things are boring. There's nothing moving. Things are moving very slow. There's nothing moving. And it feels like there's a lot of darkness. It feels like there's a lot of, in this case, this is normally the Sun with innocence. It's normally the Sun, but in this deck it's called Innocence. And with that in reverse, what I'm feeling with that is guilt. So the opposite of innocence would be guilt, blame. right? A lot of guilt and blame. And in that, I feel like you're blaming someone else. We've got the King of Cups or the King of Swords upright with control. So this whole first row is telling me that you're keeping things to yourself, you're keeping things really close, and you're giving your power away to other people. It's causing things to not work out the way that you want them to. And it's making you focus on blame. Who is to blame? Who is responsible? And you're trying to control everything with the King of Swords with control. Because you're trying to control everything, I think that's part of what's going on. You're trying to make everything happen the way you want it to happen, rather than allowing things to happen the way that they're meant to. Again, with the Creator in reverse, you're forgetting that you are the creator of your life. You are the one who gets to decide what happens and what doesn't happen. You are the one who gets to decide what action you take or what action you don't take. And it seems like, because you've got the Creator in reverse, it seems like what it's telling me is you're not taking action on the things that you need to take action on. And it's not putting you where you want to be. And instead of taking action where you want to be taking action, you're blaming other people instead of being the one to take control of the situation and act where you want to be acting. Okay. 4 of Cups on the bottom row. Let's look at the bottom row. 4 of Cups upright, turning in. So 4 of Cups normally is about not being satisfied, being apathetic, but this card is turning in. So what we see here is this person who's meditating, and you see water here. Okay. In this deck, the cups are identify water. Water's emotion. So there we go, right back to our Cancer with being emotions, a water sign. So there's our water again. Okay. And we see this person meditating and calm. And in the background, we see all of these faces, right? These faces they don't look very positive. And what I'm getting from this that's the naysayers. Those are the people who are saying, no, you can't do this. Your life will never work out the way you want, blah, 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 all that negative talk. But she's not listening to it because she's tuning into her inner knowing. She's tuning into what she knows is to be the truth. You're being asked to take action. Again, underneath the Creator, forgetting that you're creator, you're being asked to take action with postponement in the reverse. Postponement is about, this is the 4 of Swords. Oh, look at that. Interesting. 4, 4, and 8. And a 4. 4, 4, 4, and 8. How interesting is that? All right, so postponement is talking about being on the outside looking in. Okay, you see this person who's all gray. Hold on, let me adjust my light here so I can see this a little better. Hold on, we're going to adjust that light. There we go. All right. So what we see is this person here who is all gray, and her surroundings are gray. And she's looking through a window at things that are all bright and colorful. And she doesn't look very happy. She looks like she wants to be out there where all the colorful things are. And she's starting to pick up some color in her, but she hasn't yet moved into that. 4 of Swords is about keeping to yourself. It's about the mentality of keeping to your own and not feeling like you can go to other people about stuff. Often it's seen as like, it's after the heartbreak card. The 3 of Swords is heartbreak, where someone has done something and now you're in the mental state of feeling sorry for yourself. Essentially, postponement is feeling sorry for yourself. The 4 of Swords is feeling sorry for yourself. And this is in reverse. But this card, let's not talk about the 4 of Swords. Let's talk about it as postponement. Postponement in reverse means you're not waiting anymore. Because something that's postponed is waiting. It's put off. It's put off till later. Okay. This is in reverse. Because we asked for guidance, right? Stop waiting. Stop waiting for things to come. Okay. Turn inward to know where you need to go. And stop waiting for things to come to you. Take action. Okay. Take action. Eight of Pentacles, ordinariness. This card talks about having the material things you need in this life to live a life where you are ordinary, where you can live a life where you don't have to worry about getting up and going to work and working really hard just to barely get by. This card is talking about putting in your work, because the Eight of Pentacles is putting in your work, putting in hard work. This card talks about putting in the work to get the benefits that you want. Okay, putting in the work so that you can have the type of life where you don't have to toil all the time, that you can actually just walk through the gardens, picking flowers and enjoying a life where it's just an ordinary life without having to put in so much work. Okay. So your advice coming in the second row is to tune in and check in with yourself and start to take action towards the life that you want so that you don't have to work so hard to get the things that you want in life. Okay. In the next card is Queen of Cups in reverse, receptivity. This is saying that you're closed off. You're closed off to what can be available to you, because you're not, receptivity in the opposite is not being open, not being receptive. Okay, being closed off to what could happen. And I feel like that's what's being underneath the innocence, because you're so focused on who is to blame. It's closing you off to what is available to you, what could be available to you, what could be the answer that you're looking for. Okay, the last card is maturity, Ace of Pentacles in the upright. So this is about being mature. This is about growing up. This is about recognizing, what I'm hearing is recognizing that you're the adult in your life now. So you might have been in a mindset where you're expecting, like a child, that someone's going to bring things to you, that someone's going to create the life that you want for you. Because when you're a child, you don't have control over anything. Oh, yeah. Falling underneath the control card. Okay. When you're a child, you don't have control over anything. Your parents dictate what things are like. School dictates what things are like. Other people set your life out for you. And when you become an adult, you're the one that's supposed to create your life. But oftentimes, many of us get stuck in this mindset where we don't know how to create our life because we've spent so much of our lives having other people tell us what our lives are supposed to be. And then society tells us what our life is supposed to be. And then we just go ahead and follow along. We just go ahead and do all of the things that they all tell us that we're supposed to do because we're not really sure what else to do. This, to me, is talking about becoming the grown-up in your own life, becoming the wise adult in your own life, and making the decision that you get to decide what your life is going to be. You get to decide what kind of life that you want to be living. You get to decide what it is you want to be, right? When we ask children, what do you want to be when you grow up? And we expect kids, and I'm going to say it because kids, when we leave high school and go to post-secondary, we're still kids. And you expect kids to make the decision of what kind of life they want and to enroll in what classes they're going to take in post-secondary and then just decide that's the career they're going to be in. But when you're 17 years old, 17, 18, in my case, it was 19 because we had grade 13, but that doesn't exist anymore. When you're 17 or 18, how are you going to make the decision for what you want in your life? You look at your life and say, well, I've got my whole life ahead of me, but you still think like a kid. You still think like a teenager. You don't think like an adult. So you make these decisions and decide where you want to go, what courses you want to take in school, but you're not even sure that that's what you want. You might have taken courses because your parents suggested that that's what you should take. You might have followed in your parents' footsteps and followed in the same career path that they took. Because why not? When you're not sure what to do, you might as well just do that, right? Follow the life that someone else set out for you. But you're being asked to be the adult in your life. Decide what you want, what kind of life you want to be making for you. What do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to be? What kind of career do you actually want to be in? I'm going to share this story that somebody shared with me. One of the people that I am friends with and I do my fitness with, she told a story about how her father was an accountant for most of his life. And when he retired, he didn't just want to do nothing. When he retired, he decided to become an actor. Of all the things, it went from being an accountant to an actor. And he decided to start running marathons, and he decided to be an actor. And now he gets parts in commercials, and he gets parts as an extra. He started as just being an extra, but now he's starred in actual commercials. And he's actually living a life being an actor, which is something he chose for himself, instead of spending his entire life with one career path. And who knows why he chose to be an accountant? Who knows what motivation caused him to be that? But when given the opportunity to decide what he actually wanted to do with his life, he chose acting, which he would probably never have chosen when he was young. So I want to highlight that as deciding what kind of life you want to be living. Okay? What kind of life you want to have. Take control over the kind of life you want to be living. Be the wise adult for your life. Be the grown-up for your life and determine what it is you actually want to do. The bottom of the deck, we have the Empress with creativity. So you might be being called to something that's a more creative life. Okay? The Empress is someone who creates life. She creates the colors. She's the archetype of Mother Gaia. Okay? Of Mother Earth. She makes things happen. She creates things in the world. Right? So you might be being asked to begin to create within the world. Begin to create the life that you want to live. Okay? Let's get some further advice for our pile number ones who are going through this transformation where they're realizing what they want, and they're realizing that they need to be open to it. What advice do they need? All right. We're going to go with the Afro Goddess Tarot Arcana. Give them a shuffle. Oh, okay. I guess that's what we're going to read from. That's a lot of cards, though. Okay. No, I'm not going to take all of those. Those are a lot of cards. I'm not going to take them all. We're going to give one more shuffle to mix those in. All right. What further advice do we have for our pile number ones who are working through a difficult situation that, as far as I can see, is they're not living the life that they want to be living? Things are not working out the way that they want to. They're not living their ideal life. What advice do we need to give them? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So your advice is to, well, first of all, is that this mindset of being stabbed in the back that you just can't take anymore is coming to an end. Okay. Look at this little butterfly here. You see it? Butterflies are a symbol of transformation. Okay. So we've got this person laying here. She's just been stabbed with 10 swords. It's enough. I'm done. Okay. But that's transforming. This mindset of you just can't take any more. It's just so much. I'm hearing a train go by. Things are moving quickly for you. It's a symbol of things moving fast. Things have been so overwhelming, but that's coming to an end. The 10s are the end of the cycle. It's release the heartbreak that you've carried. 3 of Swords is heartbreak, being stabbed in the heart. Okay, remember we talked about the 4 of Swords. Okay, keeping to yourself after the heartbreak, right? So your advice here is that this mindset that you're dealing with is coming to an end, okay? Let go of the pain that was caused to you through whatever this difficult situation was for you. Let go of the pain and the heartbreak that it caused, so that you can get all of your cups to be filled, so that you can have what you wish for. The 9 of Cups is about getting your cups filled, about having your heart's desire. The cups are our emotions. So about having your heart's desire. So in order for you to get the life that you want, to have your heart's desire, working through this difficult situation, know that this mindset that you've been carrying is coming to an end. In order for that to do that, you have to let go of the pain that you experienced before in order to get the things that you're wishing for. On the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So this might be letting go of a dream that you used to have that's not actually the right dream for you. And here's the message I'm getting. Because what I'm seeing in this card is this house. Okay. The vibe I'm getting is the white picket fence. Okay. And here's the message I'm picking up here. Yeah, the 8 of Pentacles underneath, 7 of Pentacles, being patient. Okay. So here's the vibe I'm getting with that. You might have been told that what you need in order to survive in life, to thrive in life, is to have the white picket fence, the marriage, the white picket fence, the 2.5 kids, all of that stuff, the American dream. Okay. But you might be striving to have that, but you don't really want it. That might be something you've been told that you're supposed to have. And so you've been working towards having that. But that's not actually what you want. Now, I'm going to give an example from my own life, just to get this through. It may not apply to you. It might. I don't know. I'm just going to share it because I feel called to share it. When I was 19, I got engaged to my first husband. And I didn't know what I really wanted. I felt love for the very first time. And by the age of 21, we were married. And I thought that I was ticking off boxes off of the adult to-do list because I had in my head this white picket fence, this marriage, buy a house, have a family mindset, that's what adults do. So at 21, when I got married, we bought a house, we got married, and we started talking about children. Now, he didn't want children and didn't share that with me until after we had gotten married, which is a whole other issue. But I thought that I was doing everything that I was supposed to. I thought that's what being an adult was having the marriage, the house, the kids. Okay. It wasn't an authentic life for me. Now I am married. I have a house. I have a child with someone else, but my first husband wasn't a good match for me. Simply because I was trying to achieve what I thought was the adult experience. And so I still had the mindset of I'm happy to be chosen, rather than realizing that the partner that I needed was the partner who was right for me, uniquely me, and not just to have a husband to check that off and do what you're supposed to as you move into adulthood, buy the house, get the husband, have the children and achieve adulthood, achieve adult status. That wasn't how it worked. And so I ended up in the wrong relationship because I thought that I was doing what I was supposed to. Now, it's not that I didn't love him. I did. But if I hadn't been worried about trying to achieve this milestone, let's call it, in life, then I would have seen that it wasn't a relationship that was meant to move into that degree, that it would have just been a boyfriend. And that, like a normal person, we would have broken up, and dating is meant to figure out who you're interested in and find the qualities of things that you like and what you don't like so that you know what you're looking for in a partner. I just thought that you were supposed to get married and have a family. So I missed that understanding. And I pushed things forward where it shouldn't have been pushed forward. So the reason I share that is with this card, this 10 of Pentacles in reverse, it might be for you that the American dream of getting married, buying a house, having children isn't the right course of action for you. It is not the right direction for you. Maybe it is, okay? I don't know who's tuning in, and I don't know, exactly what your situation is. But given that the request for information is advice on how to move forward through a difficult situation, and we're talking about not living the life that you want, right? Being the adult for your life, making the decision what kind of life you want to live. When we have this in reverse, it's giving me the vibe that that's not the right life for you. And if it's not the right life for you, trying to achieve that is not going to make you happy. It's not going to create the life that you truly want. Okay? So examine that. Maybe you do want to buy a house. Maybe you don't. Maybe you'd rather have a condo. Maybe you'd rather travel. Maybe you don't want to be tied down to an individual address. Maybe that's not the right path for you. Okay? Change the mindset of something that's been a burden, that's creating strife for you. Release the heartbreak that it's been causing to you so that you can have the life that you actually desire. Okay? I'm going to leave you with a little piece of advice from the angels to help you move forward before we end this reading, okay? So one last piece of advice for our pile number ones who are looking to create the life that they truly want. What is the advice for them, please? One last piece of advice. Thank you. Yeah, there it is again. Express your creativity. There it is repeated twice. Okay? So you're being clearly told to use your creativity to decide what kind of life you want to live. Stop trying to put yourself in a box and live a life that someone else told you you're supposed to live. Get creative. What do you actually want to do? Okay? Express your inner creator. There it is again, too. The creator, creativity, creativity. Okay? They're repeating it several times to make sure you hear it. Do you hear it? Get creative about the kind of life you want to live. Don't let other people tell you how to live your life. You decide what kind of life you want to live. Okay? So my pile number ones, I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this gave you guidance to help you move forward with whatever difficult situation you're dealing with right now. If you're looking for a personal reading to delve more into the specifics about your individual circumstances, send me an email that's in the description box. Excuse me, I'd be happy to do a personal reading for you to delve a little deeper into your specific scenarios. If you're looking for advice and guidance on this journey as you're moving through your path, don't forget to check out my podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts, called Get In, We're Going Healing. Excuse me. If you're looking for inspirational content to help you move through this journey, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Get In, We're Going Healing. And if you found that this reading resonated with you and you'd like to show appreciation, you can leave a donation or buy me a coffee. That information is in the description box as well. So until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light, fellow humans. Bye. Hi, pile number twos. If you chose the card of Pluto and the black candle, this reading is for you. So first of all, let's talk about the color black. The color black is the absence of color, okay? It is color not existing, all right? And in this particular candle, it's actually black and white. So the vibe I'm already getting off of this is things being very, very extreme. When we look at black and white, it's things that are no shades of gray, right? It's either black or it's white. It's either this or it's that. There's no room for options, okay? So whatever it is that you're dealing with, it might be that you're not seeing the shades of gray in between, that you're only focused on, is it one way or the other way? Okay. Here we've got the card of Pluto. So what I see here is a lot of jaggedness. Okay. So it might be that there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of tearing. I'm hearing the word tearing. We see this person here who is wearing a stocking, dressed a little more provocatively. What is that? Is that a mirror? Oh, interesting. You might be being called to look deeper at yourself, to look at your shadow aspects. We've got a sickle here, cutting things down, but also makes me think of death. And Pluto is the planet of transformation. So for you, pile number 2, you might be dealing with some type of transformation where you are transforming from one thing to another, but you need to have a deeper look at yourself in order to transform. Okay, let's pull some cards to find out what more information we can get from that. All right, so for our lovely pile number 2s who have Pluto, where do they need to get their advice today? Oh, well, that's interesting. We are going to start with the shadow emotions. I don't use this deck very often, but all right. We're going to talk about the emotions. So for our pile number 2, who are transforming, who are going through a death and rebirth, who are looking a little closer at themselves, looking at their own reflection, seeing their inner self, what emotions do they need to hear? What's going on? All right, we got torment. Plaguing your thoughts with self-doubt only exacerbates the problem further. First, make peace with yourself, and shortly thereafter, you will regain your confidence. Isn't that fitting? So pile number 2, advice on moving forward through your difficult situation. You might be having a lot of self-doubt. Okay, so the advice here is to make peace with yourself. So that makes sense with what we're seeing with looking at the mirror, right? Looking a little closer at yourself. Where are you dealing with self-doubt? And you need to look a little bit closer at yourself and make peace with yourself. Okay, let's find out some more. Oh, that one wanted to come out. All right, delay. Not everything has to happen now, and taking time to consider the outcome can be beneficial. However, delaying won't fix anything, as nothing will change. Excuse me, absolutely. So yes, it is important to take time to think about stuff. We don't need to be in a rush, okay? When you rush, you end up making rash decisions. You end up making choices that might not be the right choice because you just need to make a choice really quick. Nothing is that detrimental, okay? Everything can take time to have a look at it, but you're also being reminded, take the time you need to evaluate, take the time you need to consider the outcome. But there's a difference between taking the time you need to consider the outcome and procrastinating. Okay? If you delay it for too long, nothing changes, nothing moves forward. Everything just continues to sit as it is, and nothing actually moves at all. You stay stuck in the same place of discomfort and lack of choices that you were in when you refuse to move forward and make a choice. So know the difference between taking time to consider and avoiding making a decision, avoiding making a choice, okay? Unhappiness. Searching for contentment is a well-traveled path that can be exclusive. Excuse me. The hunt for happiness might not conclude at the destination, but joy can be found during the journey itself. Yes. Okay. So the simple thing is that there is the quote that everyone has heard, but it is absolutely true. It's not about the destination. It's the journey. Okay. And that's because If you're traveling, you'll know this. If you travel a lot, you'll know. It's lovely to get to where you're going. But the joy happens, the happiness happens in the moments in between. When you get to where you're going, that's great. Let's use the example of just life, all right? A lot of people live their lives just looking to get done what needs to get done. You live, you're born, you live, you die, right? And there are a lot of people who are somewhat on the religious side who are looking to when they get to heaven, when they leave this life, when they exit this life, when the suffering of this life is over, they will be rewarded at the end. If you're focused on your life being suffering, then you're missing the opportunities for joy and happiness that exist in the living of the life. In the living of the life, you get to choose whether you are happy or not. And that's just changing your mindset. That's just looking at, for example, let's say that you were planning on going out for coffee with a friend, and that friend cancels. You could look at that item as negative, like, oh, I was supposed to go out and be social and now I can't be. And I'm going to be unhappy about that. Or you can see that as time that has just suddenly been freed up, that you have to do something else. Maybe watch a movie, read a book, maybe go for a walk. There's lots of things that now, instead of having that coffee date, now you can go do something else with your time. Or let's say, that you had a meeting and that meeting got canceled. Now you have free time. Right? Or let's say that you had free time and then you had a friend called you up and asked you for a coffee date. And you might be thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to go. But when you go for that coffee date, maybe when you're there, that person shares some information with you that can help you grow, that can help you do something, that can give you, maybe they tell you about a job opportunity they know about. Then you'd be perfect for that. Or maybe they share some information about a gift, an item that's on sale. That's the perfect item for your sister for Christmas. And now you're like, oh, this is great. It's the journey. It's the things that happen in the day to day that actually makes life worth living. It's the small things. Life isn't the big things. The big things are wonderful, but life is about the small things, the small moments, the small items that happen. And that's what makes a grand life. That's what makes memories, or these small moments, okay? So when you're looking for happiness, you can't just look at what your destination is. It's in the small moments of the journey that make it worth living, okay? We're going to pull one more, and then we're going to pull some different cards, okay? Last emotion for our pile number 2s. Thank you. All right, we got astonished. It's your choice whether to be overwhelmed and bewildered in a situation or to experience it with wonder and as an opportunity for a different future. That's kind of what we were just saying with the unhappiness, okay? So whatever this difficult situation is that you're dealing with right now, it's your choice whether to let this situation overwhelm you and confuse you, or to let the situation be seen with wonder as an opportunity for a different future. Okay? Let's give an example of losing your job. Okay? This happened to me in the pandemic. I was a massage therapist for 13 years. And I expected that I was going to work in that industry until I retired in my 60s. That was the plan. Right? I went to school for 2 years. I paid a lot of money. I paid my college a lot of money to remain registered as a licensed therapist. And I thought that's how my life was going to live, because I was raised by boomers, and the mindset was once you get a job, you stick with that, and you get your 20 years into the job, your 30 years in the job, and then they give you a fancy thing when you retire and you get a fancy party, and that's how life works. And that's how I thought life was going to be. And then the pandemic happened. And everything shut down, and my job shut down. And I was given the opportunity to think about it and decide, is this really the life I want to be living? Is this really the path I want to be taking? Now that I have a choice, is this the direction I truly want to go? And I realized that no, that wasn't the field I wanted to be in. I still wanted to be in healthcare, but I still wanted to heal people, but I didn't specifically want to be in that branch of healthcare. And I had the opportunity to create a different future. So I say that just to remind you that sometimes things on the outside look like they're really negative because it throws us for a total loop. The path we thought we were supposed to take ends up not being the right one. Something blocks us, and that's not the direction anymore. And then we're left with a moment of, what am I supposed to do now? How am I supposed to change things? What am I supposed to do? And we find ourselves in a place of unhappiness, even depression, as we look at the life that we thought we were going to have and realize it's not the life that we're going to be living. And that causes a lot of upset. But it can give us an opportunity to take a different path, to take a different course in our life. Instead of being stuck to the one way of doing things, it gives us the opportunity to course correct into something that would bring us much greater satisfaction and happiness in our lives. Okay? So it might be that that's a beautiful piece of advice for wherever you are in your whatever this difficult situation is that you're transforming right now. Remember that not everything that looks bad initially is bad. That this can be an opportunity to follow a different path in your life and have a different outcome than what you expected. And life will surprise you, and you might end up much happier than you ever would have been taking the other path. Okay? Excuse me. All right, so we're going to get some advice from the Inner Guides Oracle. That's where my eyes fell. All right. So for our pile number 2s, who are dealing with change, who are dealing with transformation, who are dealing with looking at their lives a little deeper, who are looking at the possibility of having a different future than what they planned on, what advice do they need to hear? Okay. All right. Deceit. We're going to pull 3 more cards. New life. No, I'm not taking that many. 2 more, please. 2 more cards, please. There they are. Compromise and imagination. All right. With survival on the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's talk about it. All right. So the deceit card, what I see on this card is a bunch of people wearing masks. Okay, do you see that? Everybody's wearing a mask, and this person in the front has taken their mask off, right? So what this card is telling me is that you're trying to live a life based on who someone else told you to be. You're wearing a mask, okay? And it's covering up who you actually are. You're pretending to be somebody else. You're pretending to live the life that is right for someone else by wearing your mask. This card is talking about lying to yourself and lying to others. But most importantly, I feel like based on what this reading has done so far, it's a lying to yourself. You're wearing this mask and pretending to be this version of who you are and living this life and thinking that this is what you're supposed to be doing, but it's actually making you incredibly unhappy because you're not being true to who you really are and doing the things you really want to do. You're just getting by, doing what you think you're supposed to do, right? So following that being new life, I feel like they're already telling you, take off the mask of trying to be somebody that you were told you were supposed to be, that you're expected to be. And when you take your mask off, it's going to open you up to a brand new life. A life that's more authentic to you. A life that's more genuine to what you actually want and who you actually want to be. Okay? We've got the card of compromise. And compromise is talking about being willing to work with another in order to get what you want. And now, so I feel like this is saying, okay, in what we've been talking about already, I feel like this is saying you don't have to give up everything right away. It doesn't have to be a full, 180. You don't have to just jump out of what you're doing now and jump into something totally new right away. I feel like what this is actually saying, with what we've seen with deceit, wearing a mask, and new life, you can slowly move out of a life that's not right for you into a life that is, in small steps, baby steps, small changes. You don't have to go out and quit your job and sell your car and, go live a life on the road, because that wouldn't be compromise. That would just be jumping into something else. Compromise is a little bit of each thing, a little bit of one thing and a little bit of another to find a middle ground. Okay, finding a middle ground. And what we see here is like we've got a blue hand shaking a yellow hand to make green. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a ringing in my left ear. That is a sign for me that my guides are saying accuracy. That's right. That's right on the money. Okay. Blue and yellow make green. Okay. So you're being asked to create a mixture. Oh, isn't that interesting? It also falls under this green card. How funny is that? So I feel like you're being told that you don't have to just give up everything and jump into this brand new life. You can take elements of the new life that you want to live and blend it into the life you're already living. You don't have to completely give up everything. You can find a balance and start gradually moving towards the life that you want, bit by bit, step by step, piece by piece. And each new piece that you take is going to move you forward to where you want to be. Okay. That might be, let's say you want to be healthier. So instead of doing like a lot of people do on January 1st, where they're like, all right, I'm going to get into a new workout routine. I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to start eating healthy. They go all in. The trouble is you can't stick with that because you've made so many changes. You can't be consistent with all the changes that you're creating. It is better for that person to say, okay, I don't really work out now. Instead of going and paying for a gym membership that I'm probably not going to use, I'm going to make a commitment to myself to start doing workouts online. Follow somebody on YouTube and follow their workout. I'm going to do it at home. I'm going to dedicate, find a workout that's like maybe a HIIT workout, high intensity interval training, a HIIT workout that's like maybe 20 minutes. And you say, okay, 3 days a week, I'm going to do a HIIT workout at home. And you start building yourself up to that. Or maybe you just start with, I'm going to start walking every day. I'm going to go to a park and I'm going to start walking every single day. Or I'm going to start walking twice a week. If you're not used to doing it at all, maybe you just start with twice a week. 2 days a week, I'm going to go take walks. I'm going to get outside. I'm going to take walks. Okay. Which gives you the freedom to, if you just don't feel it that day, you're not feeling well, something's going on, you don't have to do it. You're not overwhelmed and committed to it being overwhelming. And then after a while, you get used to doing 2 days a week, and then maybe up to 3 days a week. And maybe eventually you get up to 5 days a week. And then maybe once you get up to 5 days a week, you start adding in, all right, well, because I'm working out, I'm going to have more water. So I'm going to add a bottle of water to my regime every single day. I'm going to drink a bottle of water. I'm going to get through a bottle of water. And then you start building up on that. And next thing you know, a year later, you realize that you have actually not only lost weight, but maybe your cholesterol has dropped. Maybe because you're drinking the extra water, you're more hydrated, your kidneys are doing better, your digestive system is doing better. You've upped your walking game to 3 days a week. So now 3 days a week, you're getting physical fitness and you're feeling better. You've got more energy, you're feeling healthier, you're feeling more vibrant. Whereas if you had just said, I'm going to join a gym, I'm going to change my eating habits, I'm going to do all these things, yes, your intentions might be good in January 1st, but what often happens is by February, people give up and they go right back to the same bad patterns that they were in. So when we slowly, gradually move into making these changes, making small changes that we can commit to and we can actually do and we can stick with, we eliminate the guilt that happens when we say we're going to make these changes and then we don't make these changes and then we feel bad about ourselves and we guilt ourselves and make ourselves feel crappy for not following along with it. Instead, we make these small commitments to ourselves and say, yes, I'm going to change my life in this way. Maybe you're a workaholic. Maybe you work too much. Maybe you spend too much time at work and you would rather have more time to yourself. So maybe you make the commitment and say, okay, I'm going to, when I'm done work, I'm done work and I'm not going to think about work when I leave. Or maybe you look at saying, okay, is it possible for me to drop down to part-time instead of working full-time? Or maybe you look at moving to a different sector in your company, let's say, that will allow you a little bit more free time, a little bit more relaxed time, a little bit more downtime, while still doing what you need to do. It's all about finding a middle ground where you can achieve your goals without jumping head first into achieving your goals. You see what I'm saying? So the last card being imagination. It might be that you're asking, as you're moving through and taking off this mask and compromising and making small changes towards this new life that you want to live, that you need to spend more time imagining what kind of life you actually want to live. Okay. What do you want? What do you really want? What kind of life do you really truly want? Because if you're just doing what you were told to do, if you're wearing the mask and living the life someone else told you you're supposed to live, what kind of life do you want to live? Take some time and picture it. Take some time and really think about it. If someone showed up at your doorstep today and said, I can move you on a different timeline, I can shift you into a new dimension, into the life that you, in a different multiverse, okay? It's very popular in the multiverse concept right now. So let's say somebody showed up on your doorstep, they've got this interdimensional travel thing, this vehicle that can move you to a different timeline in a different lifetime, living a life that you want to live. And they told you, you have to pick what kind of life you want to live. There's a timeline somewhere where you're living that life. What is it? Where do you want to go? Would you know what it was? Would you know what kind of answer that was? If you don't, you're being asked to spend time imagining. With the bottom of it, inner child. So I mentioned this in pile 2, so you might have been called to that. Where when we're teenagers, right? We start college, we start making our decisions of what we're going to do in our adult life. But we're kids. We don't really know what we want to do. When someone says to you, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you're a kid, when you're a child, you come up with these amazing things. What do I want to be? I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a veterinarian. I want to work for the circus. And you come up with all these beautiful imaginative things based on what pulls you, what draws you. Very few people actually end up doing that with their lives because they end up being bogged down by what society tells us you're supposed to be. If you could choose the life that you wanted, if someone showed up with that vehicle and said, let's go to a different timeline where you're living the life you want to live, ask your inner child, what would I be if I could be anything? Who would I be if I could be anyone? If I were really my true self, living my best life, what would that best life look like? You're being asked to spend time in imagining what is that best life? What would that look like for you? Okay? And that comes as this beautiful thing with where it says here, it's your choice whether to be overstimulated or overwhelmed and bewildered in the situation or to experience it with wonder and as an opportunity for a different future. What would that future be? If you could choose, what would that future be? And then start taking small steps towards that future. Because here's the thing, okay? No one can change your life but you. No fairy godmother with a magic wand is going to come and go bippity boppity boo and change your life. Okay? Nobody, that's not real. That's not a real thing, okay? But you can change your life. A fairy godmother isn't going to come and wave a wand, but you can start making changes towards the life you actually want to be living until 5 years from now, you're looking back and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did it. I can't believe I'm living the life I want. I can't believe I'm doing the things that I want. I can't believe I'm living more like the life I want to be living. But in order to do that, you have to start the first steps. The journey starts with the very first steps. If you don't take a step in that direction, how are you ever going to get there? If you're standing still, delaying everything, tormenting yourself, being unhappy with your self-doubt, how are you ever going to make steps towards the life that you want? You have to start taking the first step. You have to start on that path, step in front of step, in front of step, in front of step. And before long, you look back and realize, oh my gosh, I've gone really far. But if you don't take those steps, you never get anywhere. You stay right where you are. You never change. Okay? So my pile number 2 is this is the advice you're being given at this point. Okay? There's a transformation available to you. There's a change available to you. There is a new life waiting for you. But you're going to have to be the one to choose to move forward on that life. The bottom of the deck, we have survival. Okay. So this is the vibe I'm getting, is that you've been living this life that you've been living because you're just trying to get by. You're just trying to survive one day to the next and just make it through this thing called life. But life isn't about just surviving. It's supposed to be about enjoyment. It's supposed to be about the journey. So where are you just surviving in your life? And is that really the life you want, where you're just getting by, you're just surviving? Or do you want something more? You have to go out and get it. You have to make the changes. No one's going to show up and do it for you. You have to decide this is what you want. You have to decide this is how you're going to get it. And when you open to that and you tell the universe, this is what I want, the universe opens pathways for you. When you finally make the choice, the universe says, okay, great. Here you go. Here's the person you needed to get you there. Here's the advice you needed to get you there. Here's the book you needed to read to get you there. Here's the advice in a movie that a character gives the advice to another character, and that's the advice you needed. I'm telling you, the universe will give you these things. When you decide you want it, it shows up. What you need to the steps forward shows up in the most random of places, I promise you, okay? Let's get one final piece of advice for you. Pile number 2, who is changing your life and adapting. What do you need to hear? Come on, guys. We're going with angel cards. All right, we're going with angel cards. Last piece of advice for our pile number 2s, who are changing their lives, who are evaluating and deciding where they want to be, who they want to be, what kind of life they want to live, how they need to get there. What's their last piece of advice as they're dealing with this challenging information, this challenging situation? Thank you. All right, you got signs from heaven, studying and learning, and unconditional love. All right. So absolutely all of that. So what I just said about things that you hear, right? Things that you might hear a character say to another character in a show, something that you might pick up in a song lyric, something that you might pick up in a conversation you have with someone else. All of these things are signs from heaven, okay? These are all guidance from your guides, from the universe, from the source, whatever it is, from God, however it is you like to give the name for it. That is it, okay? Little nudges from the universe that push you where you need to go. Okay, so be on the lookout. Feathers might be something to let you know that angels are nearby when you see a feather. Synchronicities on time clocks. 222, 111, 1111, the 1111, 333, 1234, 321, 123, 444, 555, 666 if you see it somewhere. That is a symbol of transformation as well. You don't often, 777, 888, 999, 8812, all those things, angel numbers, these are all signs. When you start looking for them, you start noticing them. Listen to music, see what you can find, okay? Studying and learning. So it might be that you need to research something. You need to study more about something. If there's a life change that you want to make, maybe there's a different career you want, start reading up on it. Start learning more about it. Okay. The more knowledge you gain, the more information you have, the more readily you are available to make these changes. So maybe it's time to start learning about what kind of changes you want to make in your life. Research it, learn more about it. If there's a language, let's say you want to travel and move to a different country, start learning to speak the language of the place you want to go, to start getting yourself ready for it. Okay. If the universe showed up tomorrow and said, all right, you know what? You wanted to go to Portugal. You wanted to go work in Portugal. Here's a job opportunity. Can you speak Portuguese? Are you ready to go? If you ask the universe for something, are you ready to receive it? If you're not, start taking steps in the direction to receive it. Start learning what you need to learn. If you want to move into, let's say you want to be a songwriter. Do you know what you need to be a songwriter? Have you done any research? Do you know anything about it? If not, start learning about it. Whatever life you're trying to change into, start taking steps to learn more about it, so that when the opportunities come to you, you are ready to take them, okay? And you're also being reminded to love yourself unconditionally. Unconditional love means without condition, not I'll love myself when. I'll love myself if. It's I love myself now. There's nothing that could stop you. The way that I say it to my child is there's nothing that you could do that could ever make me stop loving you. I might be upset with you. I might be angry with you. I might have a moment where I just need some space from you. But there's nothing that you could ever say or do that would stop me from loving you. Now turn that on yourself. There's nothing that you could say, do, or look like that would ever stop you from loving yourself. If there's currently a block in the way, it's time to have a closer look at that and find forgiveness and grace for yourself. And bring yourself back to a place where you love yourself without condition. And when you love yourself the way that a loving parent would love you, without condition, it is much easier to give that to others. But it comes from within before it goes without. Okay? So my lovely pile number 2s, I hope this message found you and helped you to deal with whatever it is that you're having a hard time with in your life. I hope this gave you the advice you needed to move forward through this challenging time that you're dealing with. If you have a specific situation that you are looking for more information on and you want more detail about your individual circumstances, send me an email. It's in the description box. I'd be happy to do a personal reading for you. Okay? We can delve a little more into your own specific stuff. If you found that this reading resonated with you and actually gave you some help on your situation, if you feel called to, you can leave a tip or a donation. That information is in the description box as well at Buy Me a Coffee or through PayPal. If you are looking for more inspiration on this journey that you are on of finding unconditional love and learning to change your life, you can feel free to follow my podcast. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcast. I'm called Get In, We're Going Healing. And if you're looking for further inspiration on your social media, you can follow me at Instagram and on Facebook at Get In, We're Going Healing. I share lots of inspirational content to help you get through this beautiful challenge that is life. So until next time, my beautiful pile number 2s, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you. Love and light. Bye. Hello, my beautiful pile number 3s. If you chose the November moon card and the silver candle, this card is for you. So first, let's talk about silver. So silver is often the color of reflection. Traditional mirrors are backed with silver that created the reflection. Silver is a color that reflects. Okay. So now in the card you chose, you got November moon. So I see an owl here, which could be for wisdom. We see cloud. We see the moon itself. The moon is female, is known as the moon goddess. And that could be connecting more with feminine aspects of yourself. I see a skull here. So it could be about death and rebirth. The moon is also about things that are subconscious. The traditional card in the tarot of the moon is about things that are covered in shadows that you can't see clearly, things that are your subconscious in the darkness. So we might be dealing with something that is your subconscious. We see flowers here, which is unusual for it being November, but it might be the final blooms, the flowers that are given in death, especially when we're seeing a skull here. November is the time of the darkness. It is the time of the dark time of the year between Samhain or Halloween and moving into the dark months with traditionally our crops and things like that. Everything is dying. Everything is dead in the November, December, January timeframe, sometimes into February. It's the dead times. It's when nothing is growing. We are in the hibernation times. So it might be something that you're dealing with where you are looking at times to go inward, time to hibernate into yourself. Okay, let's get some more information. All right. For our beautiful pile number 3s with the November moon, who are looking at subconscious, What do they need to hear to help them through this difficult thing that they're going through right now? Okay, my eyes fell on the Light Seers Tarot. So we're going to pull some cards from the Light Seers Tarot. All right, I see the Tower bouncing around in there, which makes sense with endings. I see the Chariot, things moving forward, things getting unstuck. I see the Hanged Man, changing perspectives. All right. So for our pile number 3s who are working through the November moon, what do they need to hear today? Working through this difficult challenge that they're working through. Okay, 6 of Cups, Page of Swords. Okay, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. Okay, 7 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, that card wants to go. 3 more, please. 3 more cards, please. Well, it's more than 3 cards, but all right, we're going to take them. I haven't flipped this one yet, so we're going to set that aside. Okay, 9 of Cups upright, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, 5 of Swords, or sorry, Page of Pentacles in upright, 5 of Swords in reverse, and what is this card? Queen of Swords in reverse, with the 8 of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck. All right, let's talk about it. I'm going to shift them over. Okay. So on the top row, the message we have is you're focused on the past. 6 of Cups, okay? You're focused on the disappointments of your past in particular. So what we see here is this person here, they're a little older, they've got their older dog, and they're looking at when they were a small child and the dog was a puppy. So 6 of Cups traditionally talks about disappointment. It's often depicted as 5 cups that have been spilled and 1 cup that's still upright. Focus on what has already been lost, okay? So right away, it's being mentioned that you're focused on the disappointments of things that happened in your past. And you need to change the way you're thinking. With Page of Swords upright, Page of Swords is new ideas, and pages are young. They tend to have a lot of bright ideas, as we see with these light bulbs. And she's crossing a sword here. Okay, I never noticed that before, but she's reading a book. She's learning about something new, creating new ideas, and she's crossing the sword here, moving from one type of ground to another type of ground. Okay, so that already is telling me that you are being asked to change the way that you think in order to move yourself forward towards this 10 of Pentacles, which is having all the material success that you want. Okay, we see these 2 people. We see this little girl. There's the dog again. And we see children playing, laughing. We see these 2 people here. And we see all this light, brightness, celebration, right? So this 10 of Pentacles is about having all of your material wishes fulfilled, okay? Having all the things that you're looking for in the material realm come to you. So I'm already seeing here, you're being asked to release the disappointments of the past and change the way that you're thinking towards getting the thing that you want, having all your successes happen in the material world. There's a new partnership coming in, okay? With 4 of Wands is about celebrating a new partnership, a new connection. Now that could be romantic. Oh, let's fix that. It could be romantic. It doesn't have to be, okay? It could just be a new partnership, a new person that you're meeting who's going to help you achieve the goals that you want. And you're being asked to sit and focus in your meditation and connect to your self-confidence And don't let anybody else mess with that. So here we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got her sitting here in this meditative pose. She's got her hands in prayer pose. She's connected to her solar plexus chakra, which is your seat of confidence, self-confidence. And you see these wands here, and there's this wand here about to poke her bubble and to break it. This card talks about ignoring your haters, okay? Ignoring the people who are telling you that it's not possible. The people who are telling you that it's not going to work out. Don't believe them. Don't listen to them. Don't trust them. Seven of Wands typically is a sword about fighting, about arguing with other people. But the way that this is depicted is telling me, believe in yourself and don't listen to what everybody else is saying. Don't listen to what they're talking about. Don't listen to the haters, okay? Trust in what you know to be true in your heart with the Queen of Swords in reverse. Queen of Swords is about being logical, not making decisions from your emotional standpoint, from making logical choices from your mind. This is in reverse. So this is telling me you're supposed to be making decisions that involve your heart. Yes, use your head, use some logic, but don't use all logic. Trust in your inner knowing. Trust in your heart. Follow what your heart is telling you, okay? There is something new available to you, but it's a little on the slow side, okay? Ace of Pentacles is a new start in material gains. Could be money, doesn't have to be. But it's slow to grow, okay? This is slow growing because it's in reverse. This is a new start, but it's not here yet. It's slowly happening, okay? Nine of Cups is believing in the things that you wish for, having all of your cups filled, knowing that you are going to get what your heart's desire is, getting everything that you wish for, okay? Which is, again, like the Ten of Pentacles. But this is emotionally, not tangibly. This is having your heart so full from the treasure. See, we see her, she's jumping from the treasure. Her heart is emanating this beautiful light, and she's just leaping. She's so ecstatic. She's so happy, okay? Your heart's desire is coming for you, but you have to let go of your poverty mindset, okay? Five of Pentacles is feeling like you have nothing, okay? Feeling like you are in poverty. Saying let go of your poverty mindset, okay? If you want this new start, this new financial start, this new physical start that's going to give you the Ten of Pentacles, give you all the things that you're looking for, give you your heart's desire, you have to let go of the mindset that you can't have it. Poverty mindset is you can't have it. There's not enough. There's just not enough to happen. That's just not true. That makes sense when we're talking November moon, but if you're in this mindset, like you would be in the November dead times when things aren't growing, for people in the past, they might have looked at that and said, well, maybe my crops didn't do so well this year. And now in the November time, we've got nothing. Maybe now we don't have enough for what we need. But who knows, when you've got the flowers there, you've got the skull, you've got this transformation, you've got this wise owl who can find things in the winter. They can find movement under the ground. They can find a movement under the light of the moon. There is benefit. There is abundance available if you know how to look for it. So you have to let go of this mindset of poverty that you won't have enough. And you have to let go of this mindset of wanting something other than what you're feeling. There are no possibilities, okay? Two of Wands in reverse is feeling that there are no possibilities, because Two of Wands is about having options, having choices, the energy of having choices, having options available to you. It's in reverse. So this poverty mindset that you're carrying has to do with feeling like you don't have options, that you don't have anything available to you, that you can't have it, right? But coming with that is the Page of Pentacles saying, if you start slow, okay, if you start with a little bit and you start putting towards it, it will grow and mature. Pages are young. They're new energy. They're, after we've got the 10, this is the next cup after the 10, the next card after the 10 of Pentacles, after the ending of other things and this, the having all your things put together, this is the next thing, growing it. So you've gotten all the things in your tangible world that you wanted. Now it's beginning to grow. Now it's beginning to mature. And now it's beginning to move forward in forward progress. Okay. But you also are going to have to let go of the mindset of comparing yourself to other people. So the Five of Swords is comparing yourself to other people, looking at what you have and looking at what they have and feeling like somehow either you're doing much better, but based on what I'm seeing in these cards, I'm going to say it's not that you're doing much better. I think that you're looking at the way other people are and you're thinking that they're doing better than you are. They're succeeding. They're more progressed forward on their path than you are. They're doing better in their life than you are. Let go of that. Okay. I want to remind you that your path is your path and their path is their path. And the path that you are walking has nothing to do with the path that they are walking. They are walking a completely different path in life than you are walking. So comparing your life to their life seems like a silly thing when you understand that. Why would you compare your life as, let's say, a musician to someone who is a poet? You're living different lives. Why would you compare your life as a poet to someone who's a baker? You're living different lives. Your purpose in life, your path in life are very different paths. So why would you compare your path to their path? Obviously, their life is going to look different than yours because their life is different. Their purpose in life is different. Their goals in life are different. What they're supposed to achieve in their life is different. And especially when you're only looking on the surface of how their lives appear, well, they appear to be doing better than me. Appearances aren't everything. Just because they appear to be more successful doesn't mean that they're mentally handling it better than you. They could be falling apart while on the outside showing that they look great, right? And that might be you. Flip it as necessary. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, okay? But when we're seeing it fall under the Queen of Swords, this is telling me that you need to evaluate with your heart and let go of trying to compare your life to someone else's. Okay, so altogether, what I'm seeing with these cards, you're being told that you have to let go of whatever happened before. That's trying to tell you it happened before like this, so I can't go forward because I tried before and I failed. All right, I'm getting another message about failure. Failure is, people see when you mess up, when things don't go the way you want and they fail at it, people will often give up and say, well, I tried and it didn't work. Do babies give up when they first try to walk and they fall down? Or do they keep on trying until they figure it out? Mistakes and failure are lessons, okay? The scientific method is about trying new things until you get a result, okay? And then testing that out to get a result. And if you mix two certain chemicals together and you don't get the result you're looking for, you tweak it. Maybe you have to add more of something or less of something. Maybe you need to add another element that you didn't already add. Just because the experiment doesn't go the way that you planned it doesn't mean that you failed. It means examine it further. What factors need to be changed to get the outcome that you're looking for? What do you need to adjust? What did you mess up? Did you even do it right the first time? What if you put a little bit too much of something, you didn't realize it? Keep trying it, okay? So don't see the things that didn't work out as failure, the disappointments that happened before as failure. Let it push you into coming up with new thoughts to create the things that you want in life. Be willing to be open to those who can help you and ignore those who are trying to tell you that you can't do it. Because they're speaking from their own place of failure and saying, well, I failed, so they're going to fail too. Don't listen to them, okay? Make the decision from what you know in your heart to be true. Know that it will happen. There will be tangible things coming to you, finances and physical things that you can touch coming to you, but it's going to be a little on the slow side. It hasn't started to sprout yet, but know that you're going to get everything that you desire. You have to let go of being so focused on what didn't work and what you don't have, and be willing to recognize that there are other possibilities available to you. And as you start to explore the other possibilities that are available to you, and letting go of the mindset that there are no other choices, that there are no other possibilities, as you open to new possibilities, that's going to open you up to a new path for you to take. But you cannot compare your path to someone else's path. Your path is individual to you, okay? With the Eight of Wands in reverse on the bottom of the deck, It's saying that there is new energy available to you, but you're not seeing it. Okay? So we've got the 7 of Wands. Ignore your haters. 8 of Wands is new energy coming in to help you move forward on your progress, but you're not seeing it yet. You might not be open to it yet. Okay? Let's get some further advice. So for our pile number 3s, who are working on letting go of these old defeating patterns, these old mindsets of things that didn't work. This mindset that they can't have it. Okay? That they can't have the things they're looking for. What else do they need to know? We're going to use the energy oracle for this. What other advice do they need to know as they're working through this? Okay? It looks like you're wanting something that other people have. You're looking at a life that you want to have, and you're desiring something different than what you have. That's a good thing. Envy generally is considered one of the deadly sins, but I disagree. Especially where it's falling in this reading. You're looking at the life that you don't have now, but you want to have. That's a good thing. Okay? Be willing to look at what kind of life you actually want to be living so you can get out of the life that you're currently living now. Okay? Yeah, you're not following your journey. Okay? If you're only looking at what you want, but you're not taking action, then you're just going to be sitting in a space of being envious of a different kind of life. With journey in reverse, you're not taking steps towards that life. You can't just look at what you want and then not work towards it. If you want it, you have to start making steps towards it, okay? Yeah. By not taking steps towards your journey, it's keeping you stuck. It's keeping you all tied up. It's keeping you feeling like you can't have it because you're not actually making steps towards it. If you want to untie the knots, untie the ropes that are binding you and keeping you stuck, you have to start taking steps towards what you actually want. Okay, one more card, please. Yeah. So the caring connections, it's funny that it comes near the 4 of Wands, because the 4 of Wands is partnership. Could be romantic, doesn't have to be. With caring connections, I don't feel that this is necessarily romantic. I feel this is people who want to help you move forward in the path that you want. Be willing to be open to the people who actually care about you and care about the future. It could be romantic. It doesn't have to be. It can be your friends. It can be family. It can be people who care about you, who want to see you succeed. Okay? Be open to how these people can bring connection to you, how they can connect you with other people who will move you forward on your path. I feel like that's what's being said with the partnerships here. Be open to what it is that can connect you to other things. You have people in your life who know people, who are connected, who have knowledge that you don't, and they can help you move towards that direction. On the bottom of the deck, we have the World in reverse, keeping yourself small. Okay? As long as you are keeping yourself small, you're not going to be able to move forward. As long as you're telling yourself that you can't have these things, the lack mentality, the poverty mindset, as long as you're telling yourself you can't have these things, then you won't. If you're telling yourself that that it's just not doable for you, it's not possible for you, then it won't be. Wherever you put your mind, whatever you put your focus on, that's what's actually going to be brought to you, says the law of attraction. So if you're focusing on, I'll never have it, then you won't. If you're keeping yourself small, then you'll stay small. In order for you to have this life that you want, you're going to have to go out and get it. You're going to have to work towards it. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to expand. You have to be willing to be seen, okay? We're going to take one more piece of advice from the inner guides. Last piece of advice for our pile number 3s who are learning to trust in themselves, who are learning to move forward towards what they want, move in the direction of the things they want, let go of their old disappointments, be willing to have their heart's desire, let go of the mindset of things aren't possible for them. What's the final piece of advice they need here today? Okay, and this one I wanted to come to. All right. So business. Okay. Business and shadow. Yes. All right. This makes sense with what we're seeing with all tied up, with poverty mentality, with comparison, with too much logical thinking, with disappointments of the past, with keeping yourself small. Shadow work. Okay. Looking into the parts of yourself who feel that you'll never have it. And that makes sense with what we're seeing with the moon, with subconscious. Okay, because your shadow is part of your subconscious. If you're not familiar with shadow work, check out my podcast. I have episodes on shadow work. We've talked about shadow work. I talk about it extensively all the time. That might be something of interest to you if that's something that you need to work on. And right now I'm seeing that, yes, it is. There's a part of you on your inside who believes that you are not worthy, who believes that you are not worthy of having this beautiful life that you want to have. And that part is sabotaging you. As long as you are listening to your shadow who's telling you that you can't have it, then you won't. So in order for you to solve that, you need to talk to your shadow and find out, hey, what's up? How come you feel like we can't have this? How come you feel like this is not doable for us? What's up with that? And then listen to that part tell you why. And almost always, it's based on information that somebody else gave you. It's the naysayers, it's the haters, it's the people who told you you'll never amount to anything, you'll never get this, you must be this because that's the only skill set you have. Which the person that told you that said that because of their own shadow who tells them that, so they repeated that nonsense to you because someone else told them that nonsense and they just passed that down the line. Talking to your shadow and being like, hey, why do you feel that way? I know you're trying to protect me from getting hurt, but you know what? I'm the adult now. I don't need you to do that. I can do that. I can take care of myself. I don't need you to do that. Talk to your shadow. Okay. Check out my episodes on shadow work and parts work on how to do that. Okay. And you're being told that whatever it is that you want to do for business, you need to have it attached to your heart. It needs to be something that you love. So if you're not doing something in a career that you love to get you your pentacles, right? If you're not doing something that you love, that's probably part of your problem. Okay. We see here these trees that are flowering and they're connected, and we see this partnership. There's again, partnership. Okay. Partnership. Okay. A partnership with someone, but it's a business that it's connected to love. Look at the heart. Okay. Venus is, the planet and the goddess of love, but also about finances. So this is in regards to work. It's got to be something that makes your heart feel good. If you're going to work and you're slaving away, it's just going to cause you misery. It's just going to cause you upset and heartbreak. Whatever it is that you need to do for finances, whatever it is that you're looking to have your heart's desire, whatever it is you're looking to have all your pentacles filled up, whatever this is, this new idea that's coming, it needs to be something that you believe in your heart. And when you believe in it and you truly love it and it brings you joy, it's just like that phrase that people always say, when you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And it's not to say that you don't work, it's that it doesn't feel like work because you love it so much. It brings you so much joy. It does not feel like work. It feels like play. It feels like just happiness and joy. It feels like a hobby, but you're getting paid to do it, which just makes it awesome and amazing. And you're excited to get up each day and do it. So whatever it is that you're trying to work on, whatever transformation you're trying to make within your career, make sure it's something that genuinely brings you joy and happiness. Because when you do, that's going to bring you all of this. That's going to move you forward. That's going to unstick you. That's going to make you feel grand and big. That's going to bring you the connections. It's going to bring you your pentacles. It's going to bring you this new start, your heart's desire. It's going to make life worth living for you. Okay? But it's got to be something that makes you happy. Okay, so my beautiful pile number 3s, I hope this helped answer whatever it is that you're dealing with, this difficult situation that I feel has to do with your finances and work. I hope this gave you an answer and how to move forward in this particular situation you're dealing with, okay? If you want more information about your particular situation and you want to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box. I'd be happy to do a personal reading for you specific to your individual circumstances and your individual questions that you might have. We can dig a little more into it, okay? If you felt this reading resonated with you and it clicked with you, and you feel called to do so, you can leave a donation or a tip that through Buy Me a Coffee or through PayPal. That's in the description box as well. If you want help moving through this journey, moving forward on your path, you can follow my podcast, available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere you get your podcast, called Get In We're Going Healing. I talk about a lot of this stuff, as I said, shadow work, parts work, different types of addressing your inner world. I talk about that a lot. So if that's something that you want more information on, check out my podcast, find the episodes on that, listen to whatever it is that you feel called to, okay? If you're looking for everyday inspiration, you can follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I share inspiring content regularly to help move you through. Something there might resonate for you and be like the information you need, that little jolt you need to help you move forward, okay? And so, as we always say on this channel, until next time, keep letting go of the things that are holding you back from being your best, your greatest, your most authentic you.